Alright guys, welcome back. Today we want to talk about the games, the Master Duel finals, also the semi-finals. We have here the semi-finals, and then we will also watch the finals. So I will watch this with you and commentate. And without further ado, we have Heroes Future here in the top left corner, and then we have Snipehunters with Joshua Schmidt, obviously, and his team Emre and Quantel in the top right. And if you're not aware of how this works, we have this star system here where we can see we have duel A, B, and C. So they have the A duelist, the B duelist, and the C duelist. Same here. And then we have these different duels. We will follow one duel and you will see the other ones in the top bottom corner. And then we have these 5 stars, which means that if any one of the team wins a game, then the team will get a star. So if Josh, for example, wins against Maguo, then we will get a star for Snipehunters here. And the first team to get 5 stars will win the entire match. If, for example, the red team wins all 3 in the first round, then we will play a second round because obviously there are still stars missing. So we will play as many rounds as are needed so that one team can get to 5 stars. But let's start right here. I will have the live commentary on in the background just a bit, but I guess I will maybe put it out. But we can see we will start and follow, you can't see it right now, but we will follow Josh here against, I can't pronounce his name, and Josh on a Fire King Snake Eyes is starting with the Fire King Island, destroying an Ash Blossom in the hand, which definitely tells you that the hand is probably not that great. And we can see down in the bottom games, Emerald also started, but then just set a card and passed over, unfortunately. And we can see Quantel also started, and he's on tier elements, starting with a Rhino Heart. We can now see Josh here getting the Fire King Ponyx. He plays the Ponyx, activates the Ponyx. So this is like the disadvantage. If you do not start with the entire Fire King engine, then you can only get to one Fire King. And what we see Josh doing here is just grabbing the Fire King Skyburn so that he has one interruption, namely the Fire King Skyburn, sets 2, and now we have Fire King Skyburn destroying the Ponyx, destroying some card of our opponents, and then we will get the Fire King Ponyx back in the next turn. Drops Maxi in the draw phase, it gets through. This is obviously very important so that he can get another turn. And we have the Fire King Island for follow-up. Oh, a triple tactics thrust. That is rough, and you can see it in Josh's face. He's like, okay, that's strong, because it is obviously because now you can use any card because there's a monster on the field. And here is what Josh is doing. He's going Fire King Skyburn, destroying the triple tactics thrust and his Ponyx. You might wonder why that is, but now the opponent can only set the card that he searches with thrust because there is no monster on the field. If your opponent activated a monster effect, you can add it to your hand, and instead, if there is a monster, you would be able, or your opponent would have been able to activate it this turn, but now he has to set it and cannot activate it this turn. So this is why Josh used the Fire King Skyburn here, if you are wondering. Very clever, honestly. And we can see Emre down there is playing Fluandorees, and we can see the match from Quantel with tier elements. He sets Heavy Storm, interesting. Obviously, you won't be able to use it this turn. Activates a Scream Heavy Storm, very nice in the tier elements matchup. And then that grass looks greener, resolving. But we are still under Max C, keep that in mind. We have seen one Mudora being milled to the graveyard, and we will go for a Fusion Summon. Obviously, it makes sense. This is why tier element was very nice. Oh, also the Saliak giving us the ability to add something, probably, yeah, okay, Rhino for follow-up, I guess. Now we are fusion summoning with the Halfness and the Chiron in the hand. Okay, for probably a Kit Colors, and then we'll search probably one of the traps and then just pass it over to Josh, I guess, so to not give him too many cards, because this is something you don't really need to. Oh, there's an Imperm, that's nice. So we're Imperming the Kit Colors to keep the opponent off potential traps that can in the next turn be a problem for Josh here. And now let's see whether he goes Rhino Heart. He goes Rhino Heart, activates it. I guess you can go Rhino Heart and dump something. You could to then get into Kaleido Heart and spin back the island into the deck so that Josh does not have guaranteed follow-up. Then again, he could just play his Ponyx. Oh, we are also playing the Horus cards. Okay. Milling 2 more with tier elements. Kashtira, Heartbeat, grabs a trap back, which is definitely bad for Josh. You can see it in his face. There's the Saliak Monster Negate that will also send the Kit Colors to the grave to mill 5 on his turn. This is really bad. So not a great situation right here. And let's see what else is coming. There's a Destrudo also. Destrudo, now he has a level 7 access basically. This is not a Baron de Fleur with Telemans Kashtira, this would be a Baron de Fleur. Not quite sure what we are going into here. I guess we are going into level 3, and this is, yeah, Vicious Astrolord level 8. This is Psychic and Punisher, because we have a level 8 and a level 3 tune-up, Psychic and Punisher should be game, as we are on 4,000 life, and we will gain this 4,000 life point difference here, so that we can kill Josh. And, I mean, this is also kind of risky because he gave Josh a lot of hand cards, and for example, if Josh would have drawn, I don't know, Kirin, High Avatar Kirin, then he could have placed monsters on the field to stop this kill, but yeah. This game ends and we will go over to probably Duel B, where we have the Flo and Reese against Fire King matchup. I guess we will go to B. So red wins, 1 win for Heroes Future. We will go to C, where we can see Quantal playing against Jubel with his Telements. We have the Jubel player in his main phase wanting to summon a Gruesome Gravescammer. We will negate this with our Telement Roll Colors, sending away the Roll Colors probably to get it back. Oh, we have a Rhino in the hand, very cool. There goes the Rhino Heart. This is very nice. Let's see whether the Phantom of Jubel is still live. I guess it is, because we are probably chain blocking, so the Phantom of Jubel cannot negate the Rhino Heart. This looks kind of nice for Quantal here. We go for the Telemans Kashtira. That will mill in a second, and then the Rhino Heart will appear on the field. And let's see what we can send from the hand for the Rhino Heart. And once again, chain blocking here, very clever, so he can't get Phantom of Jubel. Then again, he can obviously Phantom of Jubel the fusion monster in the graveyard in a moment here. We will mill 3, hitting another fusion monster and then another fusion monster, so we can use both fusion monsters here if we want to, and Heroes Future opponent could potentially only negate 1. Once again, chain blocking here, we have a Scream in the graveyard. I guess the Phantom of Jubel is still live, but if you chain block all the time, then obviously your opponent cannot do anything. We are adding a Crime here, the counter trap. And then a fusion summoning probably into Kaleido Heart, trying to spin back, I don't know, I guess the Phantom of Jubel maybe. And we can see the Duel B is also finished. Red has 1 win against Josh, and the Duel B, we see that, we'll see it in a moment who won, but I guess Red also wins, so we have Heroes Future with 2 wins here. Let's see whether they can also take this one against Snipehunters. We go for Kaleido Heart. Probably targeting the Phantom of Jubel, forcing it, I guess, because we have already used the Nightmare Pain, I think, on the field, which is why I think we will now target the Phantom of Jubel to probably force it. But all in all, this does not... Oh, okay, interesting. He didn't use it to negate. And now we have the Gruesome Gravescammer that we have seen before that can resummon here, but... yeah, this does not look great for the Jubel player, in my opinion. We summon, this can also summon from the hand, by the way. We summon some Saudi Lotus. Now we get access to our next Jubel monster, but I think we have already used the Nightmare Pain, so this isn't that effective. There goes the Spirit of Jubel. Obviously, we can activate this now to search another Nightmare Pain, or maybe the Fusion Trap card if we are playing it with, which probably we won't play it. Nobody is really playing it. But we will see. And you can see Snipehunters and also Heroes Future communicating with their teammates. This is obviously something you are allowed to do here in this format, because if they have finished their game, they obviously have attention that they can divide to you, and they can help you with decision making. It's not quite sure why we're not activating Spirit of Jubel here to search. Maybe we have the other Nightmare Pain already in hand, possibly. And you can see the teams basically playing things out that are, or that look like they have basically lost. Just because we are in the semifinals, finals, close to the finals, and obviously you play out every game that you can play out. We attack into the Kaleido Heart for 2k damage, 3k damage, obviously, and then shuffle back for a Phantom of Jubel. If this is the end board, then obviously this game is over, because one Phantom of Jubel can't stop everything that is on the board here. We are passing over, so what Snipehunters could obviously, or Quantal could obviously do, just use his trap card to negate the Phantom of Jubel, and then you could just go to battle phase, and that would be the game, honestly. But let's see. We are going for the Strudo. I think this is nice. This is a safe play. You could go Phantom of Jubel now if you wanted. I guess it makes sense, because if you don't do it right here, then you will get a Baron de Fleur, because the Destrudo will be level 3, and then you can use the Tier Limits Kashtira as well as the Destrudo to make Baron de Fleur level 10. So there's the Destrudo, and now we probably will see the level 10 Baron de Fleur, and yeah, obviously. Now it's basically over, and you can just use, this is obviously safe play, because it's very easy to make this Omni Negate, so you are definitely making it a very important game, so you want to be sure that everything works out. He activates Baron de Fleur, destroying Nightmare Pain. You could chain the Phantom of Jubel, but it doesn't really matter, honestly. He decides not to, and I think we are just negating this now with the Tier Element Saliek, and then just call it a day. Yeah. Saliek negates Phantom of Jubel. Phantom of Jubel cannot respond to this, obviously, because it can only respond to monster effects. We are sending Rule Colors, and then we will get the Rule Colors back. And now you can see that we could have also sent the Kaleido out, by the way. But yeah, Kaleido, okay, still triggers. And we are sending this back to the extra deck. And obviously now we will just see the attack here, and Snipehunters will get 1 star and Heroes Future has 2. So this means that we will definitely play a second round here, and if Heroes Future can win every next game, then they will be the winner and go to the finals here. So we see them crash here, and I will quickly have to search out when we continue here, because we obviously don't want to see all this pause stuff here. We want to see the next wave of games. They have some time in between, obviously, to prepare, and now we are going to the next phase of games. And now we have the basically people who are playing against, so if Duel A played against Duel A, then this time around it will be different. So you are not playing the same opponent again, you are playing a different one. And we can see Emre is going first, Quantle is going first, and I think the entire blue side went first. Yeah, all of them went first. We are seeing Quantle with his Tier Elements. Imseti dropping a Maxi, so probably has another one, I guess. The Imseti goes through, so this is the best Ashe target you have. So Maguro, which is on Fire King Snake, as probably does not have an Ash Blossom. We go King Sarcophagus here. And there is the Maxi. Let's see whether Quantle has something. It resolves, unfortunately, so the King Sarcophagus, the entire Horus engine, is now pretty much useless. Let's hope for Quantle that he has Tier Element Rhinoheart in his hand, because Tier Element Rhinoheart into Kid Kalos, into placing a Tier Element Trap. Saliek is very strong under Maxi, one of the best under Maxi's plays that you can do, besides Skull Guardian of the Voices Voice, also a very strong play under Maxi here, but let's see how this works out. And you can see down at the bottom, Josh has placed 5 face down cards. He is on Labyrinth as his second deck. And we have a Triple Tactics Talents. Nice, we are drawing 2. Quantle definitely draws 2 cards a lot. I am more a proponent of looking at the opponent's hand, but he has a Foolish Burial Goods. This is very nice. This is basically Rhinoheart, because this gets you into Trivikama, and if you're not aware, Trivikama can now be banished to grab a field spell, or a spell that mentions Visa Starfrost. But you can grab the Tier Elements field spell with that. That gets you into Rhinoheart, and so you have your under Maxi combo. And we can see down there Emre is going into Centurion Auxilia, Emre on the Centurion deck. Very nice. And we see the Rhinoheart, and obviously you now go normal summon Rhinoheart. Give your opponent 1 draw with the Maxi for the Fusion Summon. Let's see whether Maguro has, I don't know, an impermanence or something. Does not seem to be the case. And we Fusion Summon for the for the Kid Kalos. And Kid Kalos will then probably get the Saliek, because Saliek has the advantage, obviously. Firstly, it's a monster negate, very good against Fire King Snake Eyes. But then again, you can also, or you have to send one Tier Elements monster from the field to the graveyard. You can send the Kid Kalos, and then you can mill 5, which can obviously start your entire Tier Elements play. And this is very nice. We are adding the Saliek as I predicted here. And now it's basically, oh, we have also Foolish Burial. I guess we are sending a Shuffler, Mudora or Keldo, because you don't want to Fusion Summon again here. Yeah, we are sending a Shuffler, also very strong against fire. Shuffling back the level 1 monster, shuffling back OSS, shuffling back Fire King, Garunix. We basically only have to survive this turn because we have the Centurion, the Horus engine. I guess we negate this here because this is the normal summon. If the normal summon is gone, then it is gone. He's asking, you can see Quantle is asking his teammates whether he should negate this with the Saliek. I honestly would negate this. This is something you have to do. Obviously, the Fire King Saga player could have Bonfire that extends here, or could have a Diabell Star. but Bonfire is at 2 and Diabellstar, yeah, herself is at 2 or 3, depending on the deck list. Also wanted would be a Diabellstar, but if you let this go through, then you will have to stop this at a different point. You would have to stop the Ponyx, for example. I don't know why you would not use the Salake here, but you can see that Quantle is really thinking about this. And we can see Crimson Dragon on the bottom right for Emra here, and this probably means that Crimson Dragon will tag out into the Cosmic Blazer Omni Negate Dragon. And we can see the opponent is playing Voices Voice actually in Duel B. And there is the Saliak negating the Ulcanix, sending the Kid Kalos. And let's see what the 5 mils are. This is the funny thing. This is why Tier Limits is such a fun deck, because you never know what you are hitting. I think nothing too special there. Nothing at all. Only a Scream that can add a trap, which is not that impactful. We are, oh, there's a Tier Limits Kashtira. Okay, very interesting. Let's see whether we can hit something else here. We are Kashtiraing here, Tier Limits Kashtira. Milling another 3, banishing the Fenrir, and let's see, we are grabbing a trap, the counter trap Crime. And I guess we want to go for the Roll Carlos if we can. Do not hit anything here, unfortunately, but let's see whether Maguro has even a follow-up. Must be Bonfire, must be Diabellstar or Wanted, or maybe a triple tactic talents into one of these cards. Otherwise, you are stuck here with your normal summon. And if this goes over to Quantle again, oh, it's a Diabellstar, okay. Let's see what the set card from Quantle is. Because at this moment, this is game. This would be game. You can just kill your opponent here without any problem. And we can see down there, Josh is playing with his Labyrinth against Duel. Duel has established a board, but Josh still has 4 set cards. Let's see whether Quantle has an Ash Blossom. I don't think so, though. Oh, we have a Meta Noise. This is actually nice. Because we can flip this face down and then Fusion Summon. We can send to the graveyard the Harvest. And now you basically have to Fusion Summon for, yeah, the Roll Colors, so you can negate the original Sinful Spoils that was just set by the Diabellstar. And then you basically have answered this threat also. And now even a Bonfire doesn't help you, because Bonfire would get you into Poplar, and Poplar, or you can also just shoot it here, yeah. So you still have this negate on 9. Yeah, this looks like game for Quantle here, honestly. There is the Bonfire, which is definitely nice. And there is the Poplar. Poplar can no longer add OSS because it's already in the grave. And I think you just negate this here, destroy the Poplar, so that your opponent has no chance of getting another body onto the field. This is the safest thing you can do. Just negate this with the Roll Colors, exactly. Kill this, then you can send the Tier Limits Kashtira to the graveyard to mill another 2, I think. He will get the Poplar, set this card onto the field thing, but doesn't really matter, honestly. Because with 1 body in the Fire King Snake Eyes deck, you are not able to do anything here. You would need at least 2 bodies to make, I don't know, like a Dark or a Hita. And then you would need 4 bodies in total to kill your opponent. We will see the mill of another 2 here. And we have to remember, oh, there's a Fire King Ponyx, interesting. The best card that he could have had in the hand right here, but we have to remember there's still the Mudora in the graveyard. So whatever happens here, we can still shuffle stuff back. So Hita doesn't really help here. We're milling a Rhino Heart. Let's see whether the Rhino Heart can be activated. It does not. And this is obviously, this is a worst case scenario. Oh, it activates, okay. This is a worst case scenario for Quantle, because this was the only card, the only extender that Margot could have had. You could also could have had the Garunix, but this is even better, because now you get the Fire King Island and in theory access to your entire Fire King line. So this once again is game in theory, but the Shuffler in the graveyard should prevent this from ever being game, because you would need to get your Promethean Princess in the graveyard, then your Raging Phoenix, and you can just shuffle them back. So this won't work, unfortunately, for Maguro. And I guess we will just pass this over at some point, and then we will see Quantle win here. Let's see what he adds. And we can see down there in the B duel, it looks very good for Emerald. He has a Bear on the floor, he has the Omnigate, Cosmic Blazer. Opponent has nothing but just 1 Voices card that will get destroyed now. And we have to remember that in this Centurion deck there are a lot of Bestials, and obviously Bestials are very nice against Voices. So it looks like Duel B is one for the Snipehunters side. And there you can see we have the Fire King stuff in our Duel C here, and the Rhino Heart will mill now, which means it doesn't really matter here, because we can Fusion Summon again, and we can spin back something with the Kaleido Heart, but it doesn't matter, because there will be 1 Fire Monster face up, either the Ponyx or the Ulcanix. I guess you spin back the Volcanix, because if Volcanix gets destroyed by the island, it can summon another body. So you summon back, you spin back Volcanix here with the Kaleido Heart. But then Heroes Future Magu 6 still has the Sanctuary into the Viking Island and still can get into 2 bodies. He can only get into 2 bodies. That could make a Heater or a Dark. And then we still have the Shuffler, so we can calculate this until the end point. This will not work for Maguo, so this game is basically over. You can see it down there. Emra has won, and we can see Josh in the bottom drawing a card with Upstart Goblin here. I think he's playing Labyrinth, but it seems to be the case that he is still not in his Labyrinth engine. Very dangerous. We are spinning back. Should spin back the Volcanix here, because otherwise it's an additional body, where the Ponix is not an additional body. Okay, I don't know why we did this, but okay. Have we used the Volcanix to summon already? I do not think so. We also have the OSS. Yeah, it's right, we have not used the OSS, but it doesn't matter because, yeah, you can shuffle that back if you want to. And then grab, I don't know, follow-up Snake Eye Ash or something, which you will never be able to use. So this does not matter at all. And we can see down in Duel A, we have Ice Dragon Prison being used on the Samsara de Lourdes, the one starter that Heroes Future had. And now we can see Viking Sanctuary into Island. There goes Shavara down in Duel A, and whoops, gone is the Samsara de Lourdes. And now Josh is also in his Labyrinth engine, very good. Once the Labyrinth engine is rolling, then it looks really, really good. And you basically win the game. We can see here is Garunix now. We are activating Garunix and obviously also Volcanix. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not quite sure why Quantal didn't spin back Volcanix, because if he just had spun back Volcanix, then there would not be this additional body that he will get now, because now we are actually, if the Shuffler would not be in the grave now, the Heroes Future player could win, because we have 2 bodies here, and then the Garunix will produce a 3rd body. And then the Heater could, if there is a fire monster, it doesn't even matter, because the Ponix can also go into Linkuribo, and there is definitely a dark monster in Quantal's grave. So he's very lucky that he has a Shuffler. Otherwise, this would be game here. Just because he didn't spun back the Volcanix, by the way. We can see in Josh's duel down there, we have Viking Avatar Kirin being destroyed, and this will then get the Ponix to the field, I guess, from the hand, because the Ponix is level 1 that can go into Linkuribo, that can go into a Dark. It doesn't matter, though, because we still have the Shuffler. And we can see down there Josh, in Josh's duel, the Labyrinth. The lady is established now, which means now you can just chain traps and then set more traps with the lady, which is super, super strong. We are seeing 2 cards being destroyed here. The Duel A seems to be over, honestly. And yeah, he destroys the King's Sarcophagus. I think this is very clever. And here you can see the 3 bodies that in theory would be 4 bodies now if we had not the Shuffler ready. You can see Big Welcome Labyrinth in Josh's duel there, very bad. You can see we are making a Linkuribo here, obviously to go into Dark, revive something from the graveyard. Will not work though, but very, very dangerous. Quantal could have kept his Shuffler if he would have just spun back Volcanix. And then we are targeting, whatever, the Horus. And yeah, now we have to shuffle it back. And I also think, have we used the Tier Elements Planet? I think we have. So we are shuffling back the Horus card and then probably stuff from Magu's graveyard, I would assume. And now the thing that is a bit annoying is that Magu can still go into Promethean Princess, another play that would not have been possible with just shuffling back Volcanix. We see Josh has a lovely Labyrinth established and 4 set cards, so this duel seems to be over, and we see the opponents just passing, which definitely is very bad. We see Josh activating a Welcome Labyrinth. This duel seems to be so over. And then chaining the lady. Yeah, Josh is in full control there. Let's see what Magu does. I guess he goes into Promethean Princess here. Oh, we are attacking first. That's also fine. We can at least get rid of the Rule Carlos, which Quantal is definitely not in the perfect position because we do not know whether he has any follow-up. I guess I guess Maguo could also go into like an SP, exactly, to banish the Saliak, I guess. Because the Saliak can send any tier elements to the graveyard that you draw. So if you just draw a Harkness or a Shiren, you could just send the Shiren or the Harkness with the Saliak. So this is very dangerous. Very wise decision to do it like this. And now I guess Quantle has to top deck something. The Josh Duel is definitely over in the bottom there. Let's see. And we're going for Grief. Grief is nice because Grief can just summon a tier element and then send a tier element, which is very, very interesting. Very good card here. We are sending or summoning the Kaleido from the graveyard and sending Kaleido very strong. Kaleido will now come and then also mill. And then afterwards also spin. So I guess you just chain the SP now. Ah, that's why the spin is already there. Spin back the island. Just to rob him of the follow-up that he would have with the island. And obviously, we will come to a very interesting point in the duel in a moment here. I obviously have seen this already. And there is one very interesting thing here. So we see Josh winning down there. So we have 3-2 right here. The SP banishes the Kaleido. Makes sense in my opinion. And we are spinning back I would have spun back the Fire King Island. Then again, I think there is the Ponix in the hand. No, the Ponix is not in the hand. So I definitely would have spun back the island. We go for Kid Colors, obviously very strong, and Impel would be rough here. And we can also destroy, okay, we can destroy the island right here, yeah. I guess he does not want to do it right here because if there's a fire monster, he can protect with the Sanctuary, and then this would trigger the entire Garunix line, which is why he goes for the Sanctuary. But once again, I'm not quite sure why we didn't spin back the Fire King Island and then just battled over the monster that was face down. What was the monster that was face down? Diabellstar, right? So Kid Kalos could have just battled over the Diabellstar. Grabbing a Rhino Heart, this is nice. We can just normal summon the Rhino Heart in a second here. We go Kid Kalos. So it's very, the situation is obviously very, very nice for Quantle. Can nearly not lose, can nearly not win. So we go Rhino Heart to fusion summon. Then once again in a moment here, Rhino Heart will send, and then we will like mill 5 here with the Kid Kalos. Hitting Snow, that's nice. The Shiren is from the Rhino Heart. Have we hit anything else here? It's tough to see this. I think we have hit a Scream, but there seems to be no more trap card. So we go into Roll Carlos, very strong against Fire King Snake Eyes, because a lot of the effects go special summon. So the original Symphosploits, for example, or the Snake Eye Ash, Snake Eye Oak. We are summoning the Fairy Tail Snow probably to go for the Dugaris or the Time Thief Redo, although the Dugaris would make more sense. I guess you just battle here because you will never get more damage on the field. Yeah, but you can also do the double attack thing with the Dugaris, so does double attack on the Roll Carlos. And in theory, this would be game. You will now skip your next battle phase, interestingly. So this is on 7 now, and obviously this is then game. Very clever here. They could have also drawn 2, but there is a nip. So the Roll Colors will come back, but it will not come back with the 7k. Obviously, it will come back with 3-5. So Mago has the debut to save this, and obviously we can now see the entire team is basically with Quantle here discussing what to do next. And we can see the Telement Roll Colors coming back, but now unfortunately you can't kill, and you definitely wish, or Quantle definitely wishes, that he would have drawn 2 cards with the Dugaris instead of a double attack battle phase. We see once again Fairy Tail Snow being used. I'm not sure why we are doing this at this point, because this is just more damage, right? I guess we are going for an SP Little Knight into banishing the island, of course, because we have the XYZ. So then every follow-up is basically, yeah, out. And if we remember this correctly, Magu has also used the original Sinful Spoils already. So this is no longer in the graveyard. Normally this would be guaranteed follow-up, but now we have nothing here. So this obviously looks like pretty guaranteed game, which would mean in the next series, Snipehunters, gets back the SP, gets back the Roll Colors. In the next series, Snipehunters would only need to win once, which is very nice. You only need 1 win. And if you can make it fast, then Hero's Future has no chance of getting back, obviously. Let's see what he has here, Maguro. OSS is no longer in the graveyard. This is basically game. It's basically game. But there will be this I'm not quite sure, and this is something you guys can definitely comment in the commentaries in a moment here. The decision that Snipehunters seem to have taken here, we will see this in a moment. I didn't understand this at all. We normal summon Max C, so we can make Link 2, Link 3 now. And now we are using Fairy Tail Snow again. I think this is very wise, just flipping down the Max C, because this would in theory be Promethean Princess. And then again, it doesn't really matter, I guess, because you could just go Promethean Princess. And if you then activate the Promethean Princess, I guess the rule colors would destroy the Promethean Princess. And if the Promethean Princess gets destroyed, then go Runic Stringer. So I guess this is the best way, honestly. And also very nice that the Maxi was wasted, basically, from Maguro. Could have also kept the Maxi, I guess. But then, yeah, it's just game on the board. So we flip down the Maxi here. He could chain the SP Lynette if he wanted to, but doesn't really make any sense. And here comes the very, very interesting thing. I didn't understand at all. So we go end phase, and this is obviously game, right? This is just go battle phase, game. You don't need to do anything here, right? This is just game. You just go there, game, and then you have only one win left to win here. So only one of your players has to win, and then it's over. You just kill him here. Well, you can summon a Halfness, normal summon Halfness. Okay, works. And then we are going Underworld Goddess for some reason. I mean, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, right? Because this is... Oh, we have to... The ads. This is just like, so Underworld Goddess, obviously we still have to think about the Garunics in the graveyard that would trigger when there is a fire monster destroyed, but there's no fire monster on the field, so there is the Maxi being there or the SP Little Knight being there, it's not dangerous. There's nothing happening, right? But yeah, we will see this in a moment here. We have made the Underworld Goddess, keep this in mind. And we see this wonderful commercial. Grab this stuff so you can make better eyebrows, guys. Eyebrows, always important, especially for men. Okay, we go Underworld Goddess here of the closed worlds. And now you just, and I have to quickly stop here, right? And now I don't understand this, right? Due to the card's effect, the battle phase is skipped. Okay, okay. Because I was under the impression that he had just like not killed the opponent, and I was like, why did he do this? Oh, yeah, now I understand. Okay, and now the question is solved. I was really pondering about this and really wondering. But yeah, we have this battle phase skip effect because of the Dugaru's last turn. And then it makes sense because we wanted to get rid of the SP. So this by using the Underworld Goddess. And Underworld Goddess is another interruption on the field. So this is why we did it. Okay, we have role colors. We have Underworld Goddess negating something from the graveyard here. And let's see. We have Maguro drawing, and he has drawn. He has this Maxi face down still. But other than that, he would need a very good hand card in order for this to continue. Let's see. He's communicating with his teammates. I was wondering, right, this because I forgot the fact that the Dugaris. So I was under the impression, and this I used Dugaris myself. I was under the impression that whatever Dugaris effect you use, you just skip your next draw phase, right? I didn't know that if you use Dugaru's battle phase effect, you skip the next battle phase. This is where my confusion basically came from. But let's see, we still have to see what Maguro has drawn there. We have the Maxi face down, which doesn't really make any difference because you can't crash it into something. You have no original Sympho Spells in the grave, so still remains the question, what is this hand card? This hand card basically decides whether this is game for Snipehunters or if Hero's Future can do anything. We are discussing, we are flipping the Max C, making a Link 1, Link 2, no, what, okay, the Salamangreat Almirage, okay. Then maybe I've drawn Fire King Island. I don't really remember what was drawn here. We have Diabellstar Black Witch, okay. Diabellstar Black Witch sending away the Ulcanix, and now we have wanted here. We have two bodies, which means, can we even do some? I know how this ends, but so we have Heater. Obviously, Heater. We can't negate the heat. We go battle. We crash into this. Okay. Now we can. Garunix, and we chain block this with Heater. Otherwise, you could have negated with the Underworld Goddess, but we chain block this with the Heater. Now we can grab Poplar. Poplar can also be summoned here, in theory. That's a very interesting. He grabs an Ash. Okay, for follow-up makes sense. So he still has his normal summon, right? So there goes Garunix. Garunix destroys Kirin, so we can destroy. What can we just? Can't he just negate the Kirin with the Underworld Goddess now? Because it would negate something that can also summon from the graveyard, right? He doesn't activate the Kirin. Not quite sure why. We are battling over the role colors. And now there's no more interruptions left. And now, obviously, we can go main. This is the entire Snake Eyes engine now. Because we have everything, right? Role colors was the important point. Because role colors could have negated this special summon, for example. And then, very importantly, the original Sinful Spoils that is no longer there. Is it banished already? We are resummoning the Linkuribo, and then this can set. Yeah, now this could also have negated, the role colors could also have negated Snake Eye Ash, sending away the Poplar, and what the heck is going on with my camera here? Damn it. This camera is always zooming on me for some reason, but it also looks good, I guess. So we have the Flamebird Dragon now. I will correct this in a moment here, guys. This is very annoying. This always happens for some unexplainable reason. Extremely annoying here. Okay, we have this. And yeah, Flamebird Dragon can just put the Underworld Goddess back into the spell trap zone, and now it obviously looks very bad for the Snipehunters here. We can now do the entire Link stuff. We go into Sunlight Wolf. Sunlight Wolf will grab us back stuff, but we have to be a bit careful. Obviously, we have only 300 life points left. And now we can also trigger the Ponix here and the Sunlight Wolf. We still have to get rid of the role colors. But we also have the Linkuribo at least on the field right now, so we can, for example, just negate an attack, or basically set a monster to 0. We grab the Kirin, very strong. Fire King Skyburn, also very effective. But still have to get rid or deal with this role color somehow. We go for, this looks Appaloosa-ish. Go for an Appaloosa. And then Fire King Skyburn away the Kaleido Heart. Has Kaleido Heart not triggered? It has, right? Ah, we can negate it now, obviously. Yeah. So Appaloosa negating Kaleido Heart. Now we have gotten rid of Kaleido Heart, and I guess we pass here. Okay, yeah. So this looks very bad. Now Quantle has to draw a very good card in order to do something here, and also needs to have a very good second card in his hand, obviously. Like a Reinhardt would be nice, but Reinhardt would also be negated. You would read something like Reinhardt and then Telem's Grief or something, but you can see it on his body language. It does not seem to be the case that he has something useful here. So very bad for Snipehunters, unfortunately. Seems to be the case that he has nothing. And they are discussing, obviously, and we are just passing. Obviously, you can just pass because as of right now, we are not dead, but there is a Wanted. Wanted is obviously their Bellstar with 2/5 attack, and this is already 4/1, so we are only missing 850. The Ponix in the hand normal summon is not 850, but it's obviously not hard to get into more damage here. There should be plenty. Yeah, we have the Kirin, alright, yeah. Can just go Kirin, and our Garunis can trigger, and so on and so forth. I think we also still have the pink elephant in the deck. I'm blanking on the name. Exactly, the Avatar, right? Avatar can also now summon, but yeah, you can just summon now, and I guess now you go into battle phase. You are still protected from whatever because you have the Appaloosa. And yeah, we see Heroes Future taking this game, so it's 3-3. Whoever wins the next two, we are going to the next set here. So you can let me know in the comments, guys. I think the way that they are doing this, these matches, I think they are very entertaining. I really like this format, like winning or having to win 5 games in a row. And let's see, we have another advertisement here. Go buy some wine, guys. But oh, the guy also didn't want to buy any wine. I said. So, okay, let's see who wins the coin flip here, and let's see who we are following this time around. Probably Emra, I guess, because we have watched everyone else. And we can see who is starting here. We are watching Emre, and Emre is not starting. We are playing against Jubel, and the Nightmare Pain is destroyed by the Ghost Ogre, and oh, there's the Gamma here telling us that he really needs this Nightmare Pain. And what happens? And we can see, oh, they lost every coin flip. A Snipehunters lost every coin flip, and we are going Ash Blossom here. You can obviously negate the Gamma, but you have to keep in mind that the Gamma will be in the hand still and can still be activated. Let's see whether this Nightmare Pain was extremely important or not, because if not, then that's a bit of a problem. We know there's the Gamma in the hand, and Emre has now negated this Nightmare Pain, and by the looks, oh, we have a Nightmare Throne, also very bad. Nightmare Throne is everything. But let's see, maybe Emre doesn't seem to be very happy, and we can see in the bottom right we have Duel A, where we are making Viking Island, Almirage. Very strange opening here. Seems to be the case that he did not have the best hand. Maguro, that is, on Fire King. We have Dark Beckoning Beast. Let's see whether there's an Imperm maybe. Imperm or an Effect Veiler. Nice. Effect Veiler, this should stop this now. I mean, there can be follow-up in theory, but it's very unlikely, honestly. Let's see whether we can make a Phantom of Yubel, because this can still, or could still be very problematic. And Emre only has 2 cards in the hand. We'll draw a third one. I guess we have to see. We can see in Duel C, there's a T-Elements match against, I think it's, oh no, it's Quantal. It's T-Elements versus T-Elements. Quantal and Josh is playing against Fire King. And we can see Hero's Future thinking about, but he has a Spirit of Jubel, so Phantom of Jubel. And this is really where Jubel is crazy, because this is a lot of value, having the ability to just make like a monster negate out of nothing, basically. And Emro on Centurion. Centurion is definitely not the deck that can, I don't know, work with a lot of, or work against a lot of interruptions. Not quite sure what the Hero's Future guy here is thinking about so hard, because there cannot be a lot of things that you can do right here, I guess. Maybe he's also communicating with his teammates about their games. I'm not quite sure. But you can take your time, obviously. And we see in the top and the bottom, we have T-Elements Kid Kalos having milled 5. And there goes the end phase, and he's praying. So I guess he's praying that Emre does not have anything too fancy here. And by the looks of it, his face basically tells us, I don't know, communicating with the other ones. And we can see Quantal is now starting his turn against a failed T-Elements turn. We can see the opponent of Quantal have just ended on T-Elements Kashtira, which is not great. And Quantal has a Reinhardt, the best starter, and a Scream. Obviously, the opponent is also a Scream. We can see Emre has just set 2 cards and passed. And I think Hero's Future opponent has also just passed. Right? Or no, we are in the main phase of the opponent now. So Emre has no place. We can see an Appaloosa being made there in the bottom. And you can see Josh is playing his Viking Snaker, but the Viking Snaker player only has an Appaloosa for 2/4, which can be quite nice, but is definitely not a lot. And especially if Josh is playing the Labyrinth deck, this can be quite tricky, because Appaloosa against Labyrinth is not that great. We can see Josh is on Fire King, going for the Diabelza. This can obviously be negated, but then the Diabelza will just run over the Appaloosa, which is so expensive. And if he then has any more follow-up, so a Bonfire or whatever, or a normal summon, Snake Eye Ash, whatever, then this is just game. And not game in the sense of game this turn, but then game next turn. And we can see Jubel opponent here thinking about this, and we can see Josh has Poplar going into OSS. So what we'll see here in Duel A with Josh is just a strong field that the opponent will probably not be able to break. We can see Jubel just passed here. Let's see whether Emre has drawn something impactful, something that can do anything here. Top deck war here. And we can see Quantal there, fusion summoning into a Rul Kalos. The opponent was fusion summoning into a Rul Kalos. Okay. We can see Quantal fusion summoning now into something. And there is the Snake Eye Ash for Josh down there, where we see Emre and the Jubel guy still thinking about what to do here. And Josh will just be able to make a big board. And we can see Quantal fusion summoning into T-Elements Kaleido Heart, probably spinning the Rul Kalos back, which is something Rul Kalos cannot negate. Oh, we have a Crime. Very interesting. Crime will shuffle the Kaleido. This is strong, right? This is very strong. Also be able to send something from the hand. Sends a Snow, also strong, yeah. And now Quantle is left with his Rhino Heart against the rule colors. And we can see up here, Emre is using his Bestial Dru's Worm. It's not negated by Jubel. Interesting. Because he could have negated that and then just, yeah. And he has negated this with an Imperm. This is something I was missing here, but we just decided to negate the Phantom of Jubel with Imperm and then just battle over it. Makes sense, and now we have a Dru's Worm, which is also not bad, because this is a potential interruption, obviously. Let's see whether you will finally draw something that can play, because I think Emre has nothing here besides this Bestial Dru's Worm. He had an Imperm, and you can see Josh still building his board there, has an IP Masquerina. Quantle still thinking about his turn down there in the Telemans Mirror. We are just setting one, and let's see whether Emre can finally, his face already told us that there was basically nothing. Battle phase, we do 2-5 here, and I guess just pass. Once again, very unfortunate, very unfortunate. Top deck wars here. Oh, Quantle has triple tactics talents, very strong. Can now, in theory, take the rule colors, get rid of the rule colors. Making an SP, getting rid of Scream, for example. Josh going for Flamer Dragon. This is nice with the animations, right? And Jubel is once again just passing. Let's see whether Emre can draw something to play. This is nice with the animations because whenever an animation happens, we can just like go and watch down there and then find out what's happening at the moment. We are once again just battling and passing over. Just 2 more turns for Emre and then it's game. Let's see whether this works. Triple Tactics Talents takes, I guess. Oh, it takes the Snow. Interesting. Yeah, to make. Because we have this this new ruling here in the OCG/Master Duel that whoever. So when you make an SP Little Knight basically and your opponent has activated a talents before and you take the SP Little Knight, then you can also activate the SP Little Knight. The same here with the Snow. If you take a Snow that was just summoned with a talents, then you can activate it. And we make an Abyss Dweller here with Quantle. Interesting. And we can see Jubel has drawn some Sauradi Lotus. It seems to be the case that Emre has nothing. Has MXC. Nice. That's nice. Oh, there's an Ash Blossom. That's bad. Because this is now basically full Jubel combo. If Emre has no more stuff to stop this, then this is over. But we can see now there Quantle with his Abyss Dweller being activated, making a Zeus now, which is nice because every effect that would trigger now, so boom, Zeus animation. So the Rhino Heart, the Rule Colors and the Scream will not now not trigger because the Abyss Dweller was activated, but Quantle can still trigger his Telement cards, and he also still has a Telement's Kashtira. That's nice, but we can see that up here in the Jubel match, it's not great for Emre. And we can see down here, Josh is just probably banishing with his SP. Oh, the Viking Ponyx here. This looks like the Viking matchup is definitely over. Quantle also has a Performapal Trick Clown guy and has another Fusion Summon. Very strong. We can see in the Josh matchup just the opponent setting 2, passing over, and Josh is drawing with Deco Toka Heat Soul. If you can draw a lot of cards with Deco Toka Heat Soul, that's just game. Summons the IP Masquerina to go into what exactly? Just to summon it, okay. So the Josh matchup is definitely over, and the Jubel matchup also seems to be very over. So it seems to be the case that the Telemans matchup down there is the decider. And we can see it honestly looks really good for Quantle here. He has the Kid Carlos effect still left. Summons a Rhino Heart, mills another 5. This is very strong, and he can also just make like a Time Thief redoer now and then can just detach the Rhino Heart whenever he needs. We can see Josh wins there, and even though the Jubel matchup will take a while because Jubel is not that great at finishing games, the advantage is probably too much. Emre wasn't able to do anything against a Phantom of Jubel for quite a few turns, and now we have even more on the board. So let's focus on the Telemans Mirror, even though we can't really see it perfectly. There's another Rhino Heart here, and now we have a lot of level 4 bodies. Do we also have... Okay, we don't. Discards 1, and then we will mill another 2, and I guess we have not seen this, probably we have already with Quantle down there milled some Shufflers, which is also very effective, obviously. And let's see what he does with his level 4 bodies. He could also make another Dugaris, draw 2 more cards, discard more cards. So the advantage that Quantle is getting here is very big. Obviously, Jubel guy has still to focus on his game, even though this is basically one you can go into Yama, exactly all of the other stuff. And then an Unchained Soul of Rage, and this is something Emre will not be able to break at all. And we are making, I guess we're making Dugaris, draw 2 here. We can also make Time Thief Redoer. There's Dugaris. Activate, draw 2, discard 1. Maybe a Shuffler in the hand that we can discard would be great. King Sarcophagus, okay. Interesting. Oh, and there's another Imseti to get another King Sarcophagus. So this means that we either can mill another 4, which we probably won't do with Zombie Vampire against like a mirror matchup. I guess we will just grab this stuff back and then make Photon Lord, which is a monster negate, if he plays this. Overlay these 2 level 8 bodies into a Photon Lord. Oh, he makes a Zombie Vampire, interesting, and then mills 4 and 4. I mean, it's kind of safe in the sense that if you hit... Oh, the opponent cannot trigger anything in the graveyard. I forgot about the Abyss Dweller. The Abyss Dweller into Zeus play was actually crazy. You have to think about this. There was only this Abyss Dweller, and now look at the board of Quantle. And he can now also make... He can make an SP now, banishing, I don't know, maybe a Shuffler from the opponent's graveyard. And then he can still make a Time Thief Redoer. What are we banishing? The Kid Colors? Oh, no, Trivikama. Okay, Trivikama also would have been follow-up. And now he could just make a Time Thief Redoer. I guess we are not making a Time Thief Redoer because we have some Telement traps laying there. And we want to have these traps ready, I guess. But this looks amazing for Quantle. We can see Jubel just, yeah, continuing the advantage. There's also an Ibli now on Emre's field, which he would have to get rid of to special summon anything. And this game is over. Emre is just stalling a bit of time, which I guess is not that important, because this will be decided by Duel C anyway. Doesn't really matter if Emre wastes some time. He now draws a Pot of Desires. This is something he would have needed quite a while ago. And we can see down there in C in the Telements mirror, we are summoning, I think, the Snow from the graveyard. Snow just to flip down, I don't know honestly, because we still have another Telements card on the field, so flipping one down doesn't really make a difference here because the traps are still live. With the other one we are going SP, banishing this, and Snow makes sense. I would have also done this just so that the Snow cannot run over the Shiren, because then there would no longer be any Telement monsters on the field and any potential trap on the field would no longer be live. It's still live now. If the counter trap is live, Saliak would be live. I guess this is what the opponent wanted to achieve with this Snow move here. And we can see in the Jubel matchup, things look very bad. There's the Starslayer Typhon. What else could Emro also do? But it will be negated, and then, yeah. Jubel Mitches takes some time to finish, but next turn he can just crash into the Starslayer with 2 Jubels and then call it a day, basically. We have a talents, but doesn't make a difference. He could steal something, I don't know, could draw 2. Steal something doesn't make any sense because he cannot summon anymore, I realize. I guess just draw 2 and make the game a bit longer, but the advantage is too big. But in the Telements mirror we can see opponent is still thinking about what to do next here. Hopefully this no play wasn't the only play, because then it's over. Quantle with a lot of advantage points will get the Horus cards back also. Having the Sarcophagus online is really strong with the Horus cards in the graveyard. They can just finish the game on their own because they have so many attack points. We can see Soul of Rage being used, Sprite Elf being used, and this should end right here. Then again, it would have been easier, I think, to just crash into the Starslayer instead of fusing it away. Are we on a Max C now? Okay. Huh. Still deciding to play into this Max C. I don't know if I would have done this, honestly. Making the SP, but then I guess not using it. We are using SP, okay. And in the Telements mirror, still no play from the opponent. Still thinking about what you can even do. Interesting. I would have not played into Maxi this far and then just banished something and cannot attack directly now because you've used SP. This would have been a very easy game with just one Nubel, honestly, but yeah. Because now Emra is actually a full hand. Even though there's still a lot of stuff on the field, this you have to keep in mind. Has he just passed? Oh, we were in the opponent's turn. We were in Emra's turn. Okay, I know we can see a change of thought being activated on the zombie vampire, which obviously means that the Tiamat's opponent can then activate the zombie vampire to mill 4. This seems very desperate, but we still have the snow in Quantel's graveyard. We can just flip down the zombie vampire, which means it can then not be. Yeah, and we are finally going over. We could have also just flipped down, I guess, but we can also distribute this for the Fairy Tale Snow, and now the change of thought is also gone. We have the snow online, and we see Mudora getting rid of the snow, I guess. Yeah, doesn't really matter, honestly, or does it? Because we just needed the snow to banish the target for the change of heart. This is what we were using the snow for. Nothing else, nothing too fancy here. By the way, the final match we will also be talking about in an upload later on this day. I will also cast the final match. But yeah, Mudora, and we are still thinking about the targets. We are targeting horror stuff, and then obviously also snow. And Quantel deciding to use snow again, clearing his graveyard of more stuff. I don't know. I would have just let the snow been shuffled back into the deck, honestly, because it doesn't really matter, right? If it gets back into the deck, then we can still mill it on the next turn with something, I guess. But yeah, there is the snow. Change of Heart goes empty, and now what else do we have here? This is the game that will decide it. And we just set one and pass, and this looks like game. SP comes back, and there is the snow. We are skipping the draw phase, but it doesn't really matter because we have nearly enough on the field. We still have, I think we still have an Mseti in the graveyard. He has shuffled back the Happy, but not Mseti. We can just make a Time Thief Redoer here to fusion summon again, because you can just detach the Chiron from the Time Thief Redoer. This is a card effect then, and then you can fusion summon. You can just fusion summon, make a Kaleido Heart and spin back the face down card so that we are 100% sure that there's nothing that our opponent can do to stop us. And then we can use the King Sarcophagus to get the damage onto the board that we need to finish this game. Because the Roll Colors alone is not enough damage-wise. So we go Roll Colors, spin back the face down. In my opinion. He spins back the snow, yeah. Can also spin back the snow, I guess, because if we kill the snow, then the snow can be activated in the graveyard. We're just summoning Mseti. Yeah, this is just battle phase, and let's see whether there is something on Heroes Future side. We are going Crash, Rhino Heart. We are going Crash with the SP Little Knight, and we can see there's nothing that the opponent can activate. Crash, and then it's the final one, and Snipehunters is once again. There's something that can be activated, and you can see Quantel. Yeah, but there's nothing, and this one ends. The Snipehunters going to the finals, and we have unfortunately not seen the second semifinals. Would have been very interesting, because we would have seen then that Team 7, which is the team of Jesse Cotton, is also in the finals. Same finals as last year, where Snipehunters won and beat the Jesse Cotton team. But yeah, they are discussing, they are happy, obviously. And as I already said, we will cast the other one also. It will be uploaded later on. I hope you like this. Let me know in the comments. What's your opinion about this match? I think it was a very nice one. It came down to the wire, was very interesting. But let me know in the comments. Thanks for being here, and we will see each other in the next one.